So I'm making this video because I seized up our garbage disposal last night. Something glass dropped in there. I just want to show glass got down in there, and so it has, our garbage disposal has seized up. You can see some glass shards down in there. Never actually fixed a garbage disposal myself, but kind of understand the concepts behind it. So kind of a DIY thing. So I'll just show you, turn this on real quick. Always turn the water on. You're running dishwasher or your garbage disposal. Turn it on, you can hear motor is working, but it's clearly not spinning. Last night it sounded pretty horrid. First step obviously is I've gotten out all the stuff from underneath, and I've removed these screws, which is basically the seal underneath here, this seal, and then this screw I've removed. One thing I'll probably have to do is get another gasket as well. I'll have to remove that one. I am going to remove this as well because that's in the way of the other screw as well. Then once I get that down, I'll probably find a lot of glass and everything. Okay, so a couple things that I did down here was I loosened this hose, took the hose off. I always have some towels down here ready, and I put that inside just to catch all the water. I did unplug the disposal over there. You can see it's unplugged. Also remove this thread. You can see there's a gasket underneath. So when you turn this way, there's a gasket in there. Make sure that you can either take that off or leave it on. Always keep your screws in one place. I have some towels down here just in case there have any extra water coming out, and looks like probably need some kind of cleaning that needs to take place on this thing anyways. So the next thing I'm gonna do is remove this seal and pull it down. Okay, so the next thing I did was this down in here. It is a pretty good seal, so I used just a flathead screwdriver to kind of pry this apart, and then once you get it loose, this the whole encasement will actually twist right off. All right, so I'm just gonna pause right now, and next thing we'll be seeing is inside of the garbage disposal. All right, so this is inside the garbage disposal. Next thing you want to do is take this lip off, which I will in a second. But you can see that came down very easily. You can see how it kind of threads up on there when you twist up, and then you thread these things on there to hold it in place. And this is the other thing I was concerned about, this seal on the actual sink itself. So just want to make sure when those threads go up in there, it pushes up against it and holds the water in from spilling everywhere. So when we put this all back on, we'll probably have to make sure that seal holds or add some more glue material. All right, so this garbage disposal is really gross. So I got the seal off. You can see it just kind of pops off. Next thing, you can see inside of there, it's really gross. See, somebody just had chicken and stars. Can't really see very well what's seized up, but you can see the little glass shards in there from yesterday. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this whole thing out, and I'm gonna try to rinse it. Maybe I'll go outside or something, I'm not sure. All right, so this is the residue of all the crap that I got out from here. And because it's the winter, I'd already turned off my hose. So I just brought, and I didn't want, I was doing this in my grass, so I used this washcloth as a catch, and I brought these water bottles basically just to squirt right down into the garbage disposal to force, anything out, and then it catches all the solids. Just kind of thinking ahead. Because I don't want the glass going into the grass where my kids run. But what you can see now is I can rotate my garbage disposal. So it's back to normal working conditions. We had pieces coming out of each orifice from here. And now I'm just gonna clean this out. See, here's the bottom catch. and then this is where water can go in and out from the disposal or from the dishwasher. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna end up cleaning this out, and then I'm gonna try to install it back in. Okay, so now I got it plugged back in, you can see, and right now what I wanna test, you can see I got everything cleaned out. You saw that I had it freely rotating outside. Now, just because I'm dealing with glass and any water that's in there, I'm gonna cover it up. And then usually you have a partner here, and this one partner is gonna be my wife, and she's gonna turn it on real quick. We're just gonna see if we can get some rotation. Okay, ready, go. All right, so basically that's for safety. You can see that it is freely rotating and in working condition. So now get this added bonus of putting it back together. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so you can see I got this back on. Just kind of pre-aligning things. You can see, again, this freely rotates, but we want to tighten it so that the seals get real tight again. One thing I do recall seeing is this piece moves all the way over to this piece. So I'm gonna have to use a hammer and like kind of move that over. And then I'll start threading the bolts and everything back on. All right, so you can see what I did here. I moved that over to the right by using just a little hammer. Just kept tapping it, harder than that, but tapped it over to the right while I was holding this one over here using my left hand and tapped it with my right hand. And now you can see that that whole seal is tighter. So now what I'm gonna do is thread all of these on so that this is now pushing against the seal. I wasn't even show you. Thread all of these on, so pushing the seal up so that the water doesn't come out of here, because there's a seal up here for the sink that will hold the water from coming down all in your lower dishwasher area. All right, so now you can see I got the threaded screws on. I did not tighten them. You see that you can hand like thread these on to get them into place, but you don't want to tighten them all the way down because you want to get everything lined up. So you want to put it back the way that you kind of took it apart and just do it in reverse. So now I'm putting on these threaded bolts, and then I will show you after I tighten this up, and then we're gonna hook this hose up and we'll test for leaks. All right, so I have everything put back on. You can see I threaded these, and I recommend using a flathead screwdriver. This here's a flathead screwdriver. It just allows for more torque on each one of the screws or bolts that you're using. These screws here did have a Phillips head capability. I did try Phillips head. If any of you aren't familiar with what a Phillips head is, the one that's shaped like a star, but it just wasn't threading on. You couldn't get any tightness to it. I got this hose back on, got this back on. So now basically what we're going to do is test for water integrity, see if we got any leaks, and then we'll turn it back on. All right, so I have the water running. I don't see any leaks right now. The other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug it up just to make sure that as you add water to the top of this, it's not gonna leak down. All right, let me go try that right now. So I'll plug it up right here. And this is what you're concerned about here, is this seal around here. So as I add water, just gonna go down and make sure that everything's looking okay. Because technically I should have added more sealant to it. It seemed like there was still enough. So I'll just watch this for the next couple days, and I'm sure my wife will let me know. But basically what this has allowed us to do is save us probably $100 to $150 in just a plumber visit. Probably another $150 to $200 for replacing this garbage disposal. And so now what we'll do is let this drain. The last part, you see how I wrap the cord around. You don't really want the cords, electrical cords, regardless of their insulation, sitting around in water or potential water. So plugged our disposal back in. So now I am going to do final tests. Just keep that there just in case. All right, so I got the final tests ready. I'll let you have a look at the garbage disposal. Leave it on for a minute. Again, making sure we have no leaks around these seals. This seal actually was the one that comes from the dishwasher, but water can't get through there. Here's the one that goes to the drain, our drain line, main drain line. So we're checking for leaks here, and then leaks there, and everything looks good. Sounds healthy. So we basically saved ourselves